I was diagnosed when I was in my internship. I had irritable bowel syndrome, and it was amazing. Like I would be one size in the morning and two bit size bigger after breakfast. It was
Wow.
very so you I've been treating myself, and also the path to find a cure for myself
Exactly.
has been a path to be able to help other people. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Welcome to the Healthy Reasonings podcast with Dr. Andre. You are now listening to your number one source for clear, unfiltered conversations about your health and wellness. Join us every Tuesday for success stories, educational topics, and interviews with wellness experts from around the world. You can listen to this podcast on your computer, phone, or any other electronic device that streams podcasts, or download each episode and listen to it on the go. Let's get started with today's episode.
Healthy Reasoners, we are back with another interview podcast. This time we have a very special guest from the continent of South America. We have seen patients, we've seen wellness experts from North America. We've had two from Europe. We've not had any from the other continents yet. So this will be the first one. And it's somebody who I'm proud to call a friend since 2015. And as usual, we were just chatting backstage. And she reminded me that we had met in 2015, which I totally forgot. Why do I keep forgetting where I met people and when? It's like I feel like I've always known my friends. I don't remember how it all started. So anyway, I want to introduce to you a very good friend and Spanish speaker by the name of Rita Denegri Schroth. Dr. Rita Denegri Schroth. She's a functional integrative doctor in Lima, Peru. Welcome, Rita.
Hi, Andre. Thank you very much.
This is long overdue. We've been chatting back and forth for, well, you just told me 10 years.
Discussing cases and everything.
Yes, and we're always chatting on WhatsApp, and I'm always trying to remember some Spanish phrases so I can keep up with you.
I remember you had good Spanish. Someone in your family speaks Spanish. Does it?
Yes, my mom is a
Your
Spanish
mom.
teacher, and I really hope she doesn't watch this, because if you
Oh, you'd
slip
be in
into
trouble.
Spanish, I'd be in trouble.
You're going to get lots of homework now.
Oh yeah, El Cinturón is what I will get. I always got threatened with that. Yeah. So Rita is one of my good friends in Peru. I actually was supposed to go to Peru for a conference a couple of years ago, and the hope was that we would have met up there, but that didn't materialize yet.
Yes.
But it's gonna happen.
You know, we were just saying how I was so impressed when I met you because I signed up for that Gerson's program.
Yes.
And I think it was you and I, the only doctors there, the only MD
Yes.
physicians, but you were
Yes.
an oncologist. And I was like, wow. So if weren't you on the other side?
Yeah.
So I
I
was
was
like,
on the dark side.
it was so hopeful. And I admire you so much because
Oh man, same here.
oncologists are now beginning to think evidence is very just blunt on many
Yeah.
things, and
Yeah.
that it's not only chemo that will solve a problem. But
Yeah.
back then, they wouldn't even acknowledge intravenous vitamin C as something that was at all useful.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was very hard times,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
let
Can you
alone
shift
juicing, let alone coffee enemas.
can you shift your camera a little bit this way so I can see, like, there we go. That's nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that everybody sees you. You're right in frame now, and I'm seeing out the window. Oh, it looks beautiful. What's happening
Yes,
outside?
it's
It looks kind of cloudy.
It's a little, it is. It's the middle of
Yeah.
winter. Well, the end of winter, but the coldest days.
Oh wow.
Just before the light comes out, it's always the coldest.
Oh wow. I had no idea that you guys had such severe season shifts,
Oh,
but
we
I guess it
don't.
makes sense.
We just
But
complain a lot. I think
All
the
right,
lowest
Rita.
we get it's 14, 12 Celsius, which is, you know,
That's not
not
terrible.
very bad.
Okay.
Yeah, Lima has a
Okay.
very mild weather. I mean, we have the Andes, which much more extreme temperatures, of course.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Lima, like,
Yeah.
it's not really, it's not ever too cold or too hot, but we do complain a lot.
Oh man, I can't wait till I get there.
Oh, it's
I
great
think it's
for
gonna.
surfing, friend. You would love that. Like 8 minutes
Yeah.
away, I just put my surfboard in the roof.
Oh
Eight
wow.
minutes,
Oh wow.
it's just in
And
the
you
middle of the city, great waves all year round. It's fantastic
and,
because I believe surfing is great medicine.
huh. And you do a lot of camping as well.
Yes. Yes, my 11-year-old doesn't want to go camping with me anymore.
Oh wow.
It's a good thing I still make the rules, right?
So they have no choice.
But I'm trying to get his friends interested. I have to
So
like promise all these treats and things.
so so Rita, I remember something curious about you before we jump into like the real conversation that the healthy reasoners are gonna be excited about. I remember that you have two professions, don't you?
Well, you mean the firefighting?
Yeah.
Yes, I've been a volunteer firefighter for 25 years now because I
Oh
began
wow.
as an underage. I was 16. I had my parents' permit to do it.
Wow.
My dad said, it won't last. Just sign it. He would have been right 10 times out of 9.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, I mean. But
Yeah.
not this time.
Yeah. So you stuck with it.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Rita. Let me just jump to, yeah, let's jump to the doctor stuff. There's so much that the healthy reasoners are going to want to hear about who you are and what you've achieved. So let's start with the usual question, which is, why did you decide to become a doctor in the first place? I know there's always a story. When I talk to my friends on this podcast, the stories are wide and varied. Reasonably central theme, but I want to hear yours. Tell me.
I know there must be always a story because uh, it. I mean, like because the other way is because my father was a doctor, which is not my case. But
Huh.
as a doctor, I would not like my child to be a doctor. You know, so that's why I think there should always be a story because because it's not what you want for your children. You want them to be happy and whatever, have time for themselves.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah, there's actually a story. I was really bad at school. I have ADHD, so I was very misunderstood, and
Wow.
I had terrible grades. So no one ever thought I would become a doctor. Actually, I wanted to be a combat pilot or a private investigator. Those were my career choices when I was about to finish school and move into the choosing career era.
Oh wow.
And in the middle of that, I fell off the second floor in a firefighting drill and I broke my foot in several pieces and I had to get surgery and I had to get nails and they treated me so bad. I was really scared. I was 17 and they took me to
Oh
the Air
wow.
Force hospital. My father was a colonel in the Air Force. So that's a high rank. And I thought, if me being the daughter of a colonel get this treatment, what happens with people of less rank? Like what happened with people in public hospitals? And I thought, oh no, I'm gonna change this. And I actually went into university with my clutches.
Oh
No,
wow.
you guys have it coming.
Oh
And
wow.
after being such a lousy student, I actually did pretty good in university. I fell in love with a career. I absolutely fell in love. I over focused, I hyper focused in studying science up until now. It's because it's always so, I think the stimulus my brain needed was something that was all so rich and endless and so different. And there's
And
all this
challenging, eh?
information and there's cardiology and there's pneumology and there's
Yeah.
microbiology. It's so rich. it's a beautiful career.
Yeah, yeah. So you like a challenge.
I do.
That makes two of us. I mean,
Yes.
I sometimes over react to challenges. Like I'm like, oh great, a challenge, like a patient who has a rare disease. Let's go. That's always exciting for me. So you did medical school there in Peru. Yeah. And then
Yes.
what?
And then something else happened that was life changing. My father became very sick. He had primary amyloidosis, which has no cure. So they told us that, and I was 6 months away of graduating, and they just said, "You're gonna die in 6 months," and I went, "What? Like you had me for 8 years teaching me things, and now there's nothing to do for him." So I started researching in alternative things, and my father started a juicing therapy. He did die, but instead of dying in an ICU with his lungs full of blood, he actually died watching football. We were eating lentils, we were together, and he was so peaceful and pain free. And the swelling of his legs, like we could not give him more diuretics because his heart pressure was so low. The ejection fraction was so low. And then he started juicing, and then all the swelling of his legs just went away. And he was very comfortable, and he was lucid, and he was happy with dignity, perfume,
Wow.
shaved,
Wow.
in his house, surrounded by his family, and his heart just stopped. So it was
Wow.
very peaceful. And I thought, they did not teach me this. They had me for 8 years and they did not teach me this. So I said, I'm going to find the most standardized, professional juicing instruction, formation, education there is. And that's how I found the Gerson Institute. And that's where we met.
Oh wow, in San Diego,
Yes. So
2015.
he did not die purposeless. That's why he's
Yeah.
always here in my office, because he
Yeah.
did in a way determined how I practice medicine today, and his sacrifice allowed me to help a lot of other people. I think that's a beautiful thing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And as usual, on this podcast, I get to know my friends better than I knew them before because I've never heard this story before. Now, I've never heard any of these stories from Rita. We've talked about so many other things.
We're always talking about work, friend.
Yeah, exactly. But never about each other's stories.
I know.
And of course, I have my own story, which I've shared on earlier episodes of the podcast. So it's interesting to me, though. Everybody gets into medicine. Everybody I've interviewed has gotten into medicine because of a personal, I'll use the word trauma that they've experienced, either themselves or a family member. And the theme is just always the same. And I wanted to kind of touch on a maybe uncomfortable topic, which I've never gone into before, which is apart from your dad being the driving force for your quest to learn more, do you have any personal things that you are dealing with? And you don't have to tell me the details. This is just something that came to me. I don't need to know the details at all. I have my personal stuff that I'm motivated to sort out. I spoke about vitamin D on my last episode, and I just found out my levels are really low. So I'm kind of on this quest now to kind of fix my own levels. And because of that, I'm looking for it everywhere in other patients so that I can see if they need their levels adjusted, and maybe that could help. And I'm discovering so much. So it's just a yes or a no answer. Do you have any personal reasons why you are like you keep going?
Yes, absolutely. And healing emotionally is a journal as well as physically, because we have chosen such a toxic environment, not only in a diet point of view, but in a mind point of view. Like we should
Yeah.
be waking up in stone caves,
Yeah.
wondering if how many eggs the hens laid or if it rained or not. But we do wake up, like at least in Peru, like, do we still have a president?
Yeah.
Or is
Yeah.
there going to be a tsunami or a third world war?
Yeah.
So I myself, growing up, in the Air Force, they would give us this fluoride in my school. I went to the school for the children of the Air Force officers.
Yeah.
So they would give us fluoride every Thursday in a little cup, and we were supposed to just go like this. Of course, I drank it because I thought, whatever. And I was a
Oh,
child, and I
wow.
was not really instructed. And and then I had asthma, so I was given a lot of steroids and antibiotics. So I've had candida a long time. And I was diagnosed when I was in my internship. I had irritable bowel syndrome, and it was amazing. Like I would be one size in the morning and two bit size bigger after breakfast. It was
Wow.
very so you I've been treating myself, and also the path to find a cure for myself
Exactly.
has been a path to be able to help other people. Absolutely.
Exactly.
And also
Yeah.
emotionally, like now I'm launching a supplements
Ah,
enterprise,
nice.
and my first supplement is for mental health, because
Ah,
we've been
nice.
through so much as just choosing this different path as doctors. Like, what have you heard from your colleagues and your family? You know,
Yep. Yep.
it's
Yep.
it's a difficult journey,
Yep.
but it's
We're gonna
so much
touch.
fun, isn't it?
We're gonna touch on that. Maybe we'll touch on that in a little bit. I'm gonna take a quick break just to do some commercials, and
Fantastic.
then we're gonna be right back with Dr. Rita, the amazing Dr. Rita from Peru.
Thank you,
We'll be
friend.
right back. Healthy Reasoners, there's so much more I'd love to be able to say during these podcast episodes, but out of respect for the platforms that I'm on, such as this one, I do not think it would be the best move. And so I want to be able to provide even more unfiltered, clear conversations for you, the Healthy Reasoners. So I invite you to join me in our very own private community over at healthyreasonings.com. There, we can talk in a little bit more detail. I actually have several benefits available for you. It's live Q&A sessions once a week. We're gonna have discussions amongst ourselves. We're gonna see if we can get some of our guests to come on there as well to share their thoughts in a more candid way. And so many other benefits, including behind the scene footage, other resources, merch, and apparel. Lots of things that are going to make your life so much better, healthier, and more productive. So I invite you to join us over there at healthyreasonings.com. Sign up to join the community. It is totally free, and you're going to see me there live and in living color, speaking in clear, unfiltered terms. Jump over right now, and I'll see you there. And we're back with the indomitable Dr. Rita Denegri from Lima, Peru, a friend that I have had for 10 years now, and I am just finding out half of her story. So,
They say friendships that last more than 7 years are forever, so you can't return me now, Andre. You're stuck with me.
oh yeah, we're stuck, and that's fine. I really
Good.
enjoy having you as a friend.
Me too.
Yeah. So we're gonna touch on a nice, interesting topic that both you and I had to be very careful tiptoeing around, and so I'm gonna frame it this way. We are now in 2025, and about 3 years ago, we went through, as a world, as a planet, a very difficult time. More than 3 years, but let's go 4 years, just about in the middle. And so I want to frame it for our listeners without having to be very explicit about what we're talking about. And Dr. Rita and I actually went through a particularly difficult time because we identified some solutions that could be helpful during that period of that very difficult time in our respective countries. And we managed to use those solutions very well, effectively for single patients with really good results. In fact, I myself was affected by what was happening in that time. And at the time, there was no treatment available that anybody knew of. And so my wife and I both became ill. And we turned to our favorite tool, which is medical ozone therapy. And we treated ourselves. And And during that time, I had to reach out to Rita because Rita was also trained extensively in ozone therapy and had been using it for some time before this drama started. And so she and I had to work together remotely to design protocols for the patients in Peru. So we would exchange notes. I'd say, hey, I just treated this patient here in Jamaica. This was what happened. This is what I found was helpful. And then we'd just kind of keep in touch with each other. And I want to go back to that period of time without getting YouTube all angry with us. So you can just talk in broad terms, Rita. I mean, you can talk about the tools you use, of course, but
We
we're
need to
going to
use
avoid
words
that.
as the thing
Yeah, let's just use a
and
thing.
it.
So, yeah. So that we can kind of, I mean, healthy reasoners are smart enough to read between the lines.
Yeah.
So first of all, let's talk about ozone and how you got interested in ozone, and then we'll go into how you used it during that time.
Yeah, well, when it hit, of course, we were all primarily worried about our loved ones. And I was like, how am I going to keep everyone I love safe? And I really did feel confident with the tool, with ozone, because
Yeah,
it is a germ killer, a very effective, if not the most
yeah,
of
yeah.
all. But we were exchanging because this was a very inflammatory disease, and we know that inflammation oxidizes as well. So you need to keep a very thin
Good
golden
balance.
spot.
Yeah,
Like, are we
yeah.
going to treat it as an infection, which we're going to give the highest doses, or as an inflammation when you give the lowest? So I
Yeah.
think and everyone I talked to, we agreed in like 30-ish, 25-ish concentration of ozone for
Yeah,
that. But then
yeah,
if someone was really in a really bad inflammation, the cytokine cascade, you would need to use very little dose, which was probably not enough to be an antiviral. So it was
precisely.
not the ideal. It was pretty great, but
Yeah,
not the ideal. I think it was enough for someone who was healthy, but like it. But also, I had a patient that really struck me because I was doing the auto chemotherapy in her, and we both saw every day her blood get darker and slower,
yeah. I
and
remember that.
like every time I put the catheter, it was like it was slower and
Yeah,
darker, and I've seen some patients that their blood was so dark and
yeah,
so slow that I looked at it and said, how are they alive? If this is what's circulating in their blood, and their
yeah, yeah,
saturation was as low as 40, and they
yeah,
were talking to me,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's not something as doctors, like if you get a patient before the pandemics, if you had a patient in your ER with shortness of breath, and he would have 95, you would freak out.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah,
because his alveoli were full of pus. And then no matter how much oxygen you would give him, it would not go through the pus. But in this case, it was the blood in the lungs being so dark and thick. This is a completely different
yeah,
pathophysiology and a
yeah,
completely different reason that had to do with this clotting and this thickening of the blood. So anyway, for us, ozone therapists would give us a glimpse of what the blood looked like in these patients.
That's a
So
great point. It's
ozone
a
was
great point.
great. It was
Yeah,
not ideal. It
yeah,
was good. It was good to do it preventive. It was good
yeah,
if the inflammation was not too severe,
yeah,
and it was absolutely fantastic for recovery from COVID.
yeah, yeah.
But there were
You said,
other solutions
yeah,
that were more
yeah,
ideal
yeah,
because they were less oxidizing, they were mild oxidants, and
yeah,
they would still do the blood thinning thing without compromising your clotting factors.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
they acted like, and they affect the NRF2 marker. And so it was like if you had a steroid, a corticosteroid, you could abuse of, which is fantastic with no side effects. But
Yeah. Yeah.
nowadays there's publications and we'll get there, like with ozone, my friend. Ozone, if you look in online, you'll see it's a very dangerous toxic gas. And if it weren't for the Cubans and the Russians that have no pharmaceutical industry, we wouldn't be able to use it. But then they had so many publications that they can no longer say it's
Yeah.
terrible. So what they say now, that the challenge with ozone is that it's good for too many things, so we cannot label it. I'm like, oh, how terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Universal medicine, how terrible, you know?
Yeah. It's annoying. Um, and I think this would be a good opportunity for me to plug the Healthy Reasonings community, which is a private community that I've formed for the exact purpose that Dr. Rita and I will be able to hopefully speak more openly
Oh, we can
on our
gossip
own
better in
platform.
there.
Yeah, we can. We can. So I'm,
Fantastic.
I'm slowly building that out. We have more and more people joining the platform. So if you're watching this right now, I encourage you to jump over to healthyreasonings.com and just sign up to be a part of the community. It's totally free, totally private, and totally only policed by me. So,
Oh, you need to
so
teach me that, and we can
yeah,
join
yeah.
communities.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you exactly how to do it. No
Oh, I mean,
worries.
no. I mean, no.
Yeah, exactly. They're listening. No, so the whole idea is that we want people to be able to get the information that we want to share without it being filtered. And even though the whole point of this podcast is to talk in an unfiltered way, you and I just had to speak in a very filtered way because the bots are listening, but that's okay. Talk to me about chlorine dioxide because that's something that you introduced me to that I've never fully followed up on. And so I just view you as an expert on it.
Thank you. Well, I'll tell you the story. So I was doing ozone, and I told you about this patient whose blood was getting thicker and darker every time. And then this person approached me, and it's a friend of my neighbor, really, and said he had treated 500 people. And of course, I was doubtful, right? But curious. You can be doubtful, but you need to be curious if you want to call yourself a scientist.
There we go.
And I said, really? What is it? And he said, it's chlorine dioxide. And I said, do you have any information on it? I want to read about it. And then I took the EPA review and I saw the doses and I thought, this is perfectly safe for me to drink. So I started drinking it and I started spraying it in my mouth and in my nose. It was no irritant. Sometimes I would spray it in my eyes in a mild concentration just to cover anywhere, any way the virus could get into me in a way that's efficient because I don't trust this. And and then I started drinking it. And I started feeling very good. And then my hair started thickening and all these things that relate to oxygenation and microcirculation were showing. I actually had pterygium in my eyes, in both of them, and it was gone. So fibrinolytic, anti-clogging, which are the things it does actually as an oxidant. It will debilitate all the sulfur binds that hold fibrin together. So, and then, I had been drinking it for 3 weeks, and then I'm treating this girl, and I said, I've been drinking this. It's perfectly safe in the dose it's recommended. I have connected with a community of a lot of people who are drinking it, and I think we should try it. And she said, okay. So she tried it. And next day I put the catheter and the blood went
Wow.
and bright orange. And we just looked at each other and I said, okay, we're going to stop the ozone. And this is what we're doing now.
Wow.
And I had all my patients tested. So I called this guy and I told him, I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to dose this. But I do know how to determine if a person is improving or worsening. So if you have someone who wants a medical supervision while doing this, they can contact me. Next week, a family contacts me. And they were two requiring oxygen. So I went to their house and I said, okay, I told them I do not know how to use this product. I will just supervise you. So I had hemogram, ferritin, and PCR, but not the PCR of, see, C-reactive protein, and a CT scan of the lungs. The CT scans changed as quick as in 5 days. I had the radiologists drinking chlorine dioxide because
Wow.
they thought this is like we've never seen such a fibrinolytic
Yeah.
power to
Yeah.
something, and they were
Yeah.
taking the scans, right? They're
Yeah.
my friends up
Yeah.
until now. And so it was like that. Next day I went to see them, and they were not requiring oxygen. They felt great.
Wow.
And this community existed previously. The people who uses chlorine dioxide has been there for years. They were just not famous or problematic. But this is a community that reached to me. They had been using it for years for other
Yes.
conditions, and they just thought it
Yes.
would work in, and it totally did. And I had it documented with ferritins before and after, with hemograms before and after. And protein C reactive would go from 300 to 14 in 3 days. I had never seen that. In like, I had never seen like that changing so fast. That even
Wow.
I thought maybe it's oxidizing the marker, but no, it correlated with the improvement. So we had a world pandemic. People were dying everywhere. In Peru, we had no oxygen because here the law required it to be 99.99% pure for medical oxygen, which is terribly expensive. And it was there was it's a monopoly, so that's another thing. And how not to speak out, how not to speak out if I came across this. And then I was blessed with the fact that I could take care of everyone I loved. Why would I not, as a gratitude thing? So I did it, and I thought, great, now they're going to ask me how I do it, and we're all going to be okay. Well, it went down a bit differently.
Of course it did.
It's like, hello. Oh, so the boards wanted to remove my license. They tried for 4 years, but I was not punished with nothing because I never went online saying, hey, everyone drink this. I went online with my cases saying, this is what I have encountered. You should look into it.
Yep.
And then they
Yep.
said it's chlorine. And then some people mistakenly, because of their wrong affirmations, went and drank chlorine, which is a
Oh
different
dear.
thing.
Oh dear.
See, and I blamed
Oh
them.
dear.
I said you should not have compared two things, especially if one of them is healing people in these circumstances. Everyone's desperate, everyone's scared.
Yeah, and I think the key for us right now is to become more and more skillful with our tools. Because one thing I've noticed in my practice, and you've probably seen it in yours as well, is that even if you don't necessarily advertise per se or go out there and say this is what you do, separate and apart from word of mouth, I find that people literally just find me. And it's usually the right people who find me. So, in a way, sometimes I actually don't like to advertise because sometimes when I advertise, I get the wrong people.
Yes.
Whereas if I just kind of open my office doors and then say, well, whoever walks in,
No, the people
we'll
who
help
find
them.
us were actively looking for us.
Precisely,
Yes.
precisely, precisely. And sometimes they don't even realize that you're who they're looking for. They just end up there and they're like, well, something told me to come here. like,
Yes,
like,
and my patients
yeah,
keep teaching me things.
exactly.
Like some of them will come with, can I take Berm? And I'd be like, I'll allow it. I don't know exactly what it is, but sure, let me look into it
Yeah,
because I don't know
exactly,
everything.
exactly. So, where are we in terms of time? Oh my goodness, I have no idea.
It's
And
been 37 minutes.
my gosh, wow. Okay, we need to we need to move on with this. So let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back with weird and wonderful, and then we'll get to figure out how you can get in touch with Dr. Rita. Quick break. Healthy Reasoners. There's so much more I'd love to be able to say during these podcast episodes, but out of respect for the platforms that I'm on, such as this one, I do not think it would be the best move. And so I want to be able to provide even more unfiltered, clear conversations for you, the Healthy Reasoners. So I invite you to join me in our very own private community over at healthyreasonings.com. There, we can talk in a little bit more detail. I actually have several benefits available for you. It's live Q&A sessions once a week. We're going to have discussions amongst ourselves. We're going to see if we can get some of our guests to come on there as well to share their thoughts in a more candid way. And so many other benefits, including behind the scene footage, other resources, merch, and apparel. Lots of things that are going to make your life so much better, healthier, and more productive. So I invite you to join us over there at healthyreasonings.com. Sign up to join the community. It is totally free, and you're going to see me there live and in living color, speaking in clear, unfiltered terms. Jump over right now, and I'll see you there. So we're back with the famous Dr. Rita Denegri, who is kind of giving us a look into why she's so passionate about the things that she does. And we were just talking off camera, and I told her that if you as Healthy Reasoners are eager to hear some more about what she's not able to say, please feel free to respond either here or over on the platform, so that you can so that we can set up a part two, like a sequel to this conversation, but on the platform where she can be a lot more open and transparent about what she wants to be able to say, and you can ask her questions. She'll give you direct answers in that forum, so we can do a live Q&A session there, which should be a lot more interactive for you. So we're kind of just getting a taste right now, but we are ready for our weird and wonderful section, which is going to be fun because Dr. Rita is a very upbeat person, and I know she's going to have some cool questions for me. So Dr. Rita, how this works is we have 2 questions to ask each other, and the questions are supposed to be personal but not invasive or embarrassing. And the whole idea is to get a look into who is Rita versus Dr. Rita, and in my case, who is Andre versus Dr. Andre. So, I try to find some questions that will give people a peek into who you are as just
So
a person.
I have to make up 2 questions for you.
You do.
Okay.
And I'm going to hit you with some really hard ones.
Okay.
I'm not. No, I'm not. Let's go. Do you want me to start, or do you want to start? It's up to you.
Okay, you start.
Okay, here we go. What is... let's try this one. Who is your favorite male actor?
Ooh.
That one is good. That one is going to be good.
Yeah, but
Try that one.
that's a tricky one.
Oh, yeah. I'll get you in trouble. I'll get you in trouble with your husband.
Yes. What's this guy's name? The one that's from Boston Legal and the Blacklist.
Huh. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it Spade? James Spade?
Spade. Kevin Spade? No. See?
Let me Google it real quick. I think it's James Spade.
I think so. I don't know his name, but he's my favorite actor.
Well, since you went there, why?
I just I both of those shows I really liked. Boston Legal was so old, but he's like so quick, smart, and he can hold his lines and the way he
Yeah.
speaks. And also I like the Blacklist because it's it's like conspirative. So yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Of course. All right, your question, my friend.
What's your favorite conspirative theory?
Well, it's funny you asked that, because I guess we could follow the same vein. One of the movies that changed my life was this one with Will Smith and Gene Hackman. I can't remember the Enemy of the State. Could it be that? Something like that.
A
Yeah, it was
movie
the
with
one
Will
where
Smith,
and
the one about the
and
robots?
and Gene Hackman. No, it was this. It was like in the 1990s. I want to say it was
Like he was a
just when.
police?
So he was this innocent guy, and then all of a sudden his life got turned upside down. His credit card stopped working, and like his wife turned on him, and then he had to be like a fugitive because everybody was trying to find him. It was because he had gotten like a wrong delivery of a package, and in the package was, I know the healthy reasoners are screaming right now with the name of it. I feel like it was Enemy of the State, but the whole point was it was when we were just starting to realize how much monitoring capabilities the different agencies had. And while I'm not necessarily big on conspiracy as conspiracy, I am always fascinated by how many of those movies subsequently become our reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Because like they were tracking his cell phone, and at the time we're like, whoa, they're able to track your cell phone. So then he had to throw it away. Like Gene Hackman told him, like, hey, you need to throw away your phone. And so I've not ever really been big on trying to prove conspiracy theories, so to speak, but I think it's useful to kind of look at life, as you said earlier, from a very curious perspective, and to be open to different possibilities, because a lot of those things that were like really crazy in that movie at the time, like putting a tracker in your car, and now everybody has a tracker and everything with those Apple AirTags. So
Exactly.
so it's just, I think it's just a way to keep us, as you said, as scientists, to keep us curious and open to the fact that separate and apart from whether people are out to get us, so to speak, it's the fact that the world is changing pretty rapidly and advances in technology are happening. And before we quickly dismiss something as impossible, we need to say, well, actually, what is the evidence around it? And that applies not just to medicine, but so many other things. I try my best to stay curious, I think, rather than dogmatic. Does that
But
make
it's,
sense?
yeah, yes, absolutely. But these technology advances,
Yeah.
of course, they're making our life easier in many ways, but they're taking a huge toll in mental health.
Yep, of
Like,
course.
if I'm at the beach with my son, watching him,
Yep.
just scare the birds running, and then
Yep.
you get a text
Yep.
that's work related, that's
Yep.
stressful, doesn't matter where
Mm-hmm.
you are.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
Yep.
language is very important. If you call it conspirative, it has a
Yep.
veil of
Yep. Yep.
wacko thing,
Yeah, crazy.
and
Yep.
also like organic food.
Yep.
It's just food, fit body.
Yep.
It's a human
Yep.
physiology,
Yep.
and
Yep.
these words would turn it away from us. Like it's not ours. And then let's go out to nature. No, let's go back to
Oh yeah.
nature,
Oh
right?
yeah.
You
Yeah.
went out to the
Yeah.
concrete buildings. So call me crazy, if you will. Wouldn't be
Yeah.
the
No,
first person to
it's
do it, but nor the last.
so
But
the
I,
truth is that
yeah,
like
like
my approach is that the more I look at some of these things, I find myself, like you said, it actually can affect your mental health just looking at how many of these like obvious things have been distorted. So I don't even go there because I end up just getting annoyed. And so I try to keep focused on the opposite, which is okay, what is the truth? What are the actual facts? And how can I amplify those rather than trying to tear down what we know to not be true? And I find that it helps to keep me more centered. Like, okay, I'm not going to focus on the fact that all of this is garbage. I'm going to try and show you what's pure. And so that's actually what we're doing right now as well. And don't think you're going to get out of the second question. I see you trying to dodge. The second question. The
okay.
second question is coming up right now, and I'm going to give you one of my favorite ones, which is, I know you are very much in love with Peru, but here's a big challenge. If you had to choose another country in the world that you would consider living in for the rest of your life, which one would it be? And don't say Peru.
Well, it would have to have a surfing shore, absolutely.
Yes?
Coast, absolutely.
Yes?
And it would have to be very near Peru. So
You're
I might
cheating.
say Ecuador, just because it's our next door neighbor. But
All right. So I'm gonna avoid you cheating. Let's
okay,
say
so
a
no South
country that's
America.
no South American countries.
Okay, Portugal.
Okay. And why?
I think that it's very decent quality of life. It's very bold of me saying very decent coming from Peru, but anyway, I said that. And there's the language is friendly too, and just it's it's a conservative, still conservative place. So where I could raise my child.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, surfing, conservative, good weather.
Okay. Fair enough.
I need to find out about the food.
I've heard it's good,
Okay.
and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I've also heard that it's inexpensive,
Fantastic then.
which is the two good things. There's only three good things that could happen with food. Good, as in not processed, and second is tasty, because you don't want something that's not processed but tastes like garbage.
I know.
And then thirdly is inexpensive, which is why I like Jamaica, but that's another story. All right, your final question, and then we
My
wrap this up,
question
my
for
friend.
you would be what is your
Uh-oh.
favorite sport to practice and why?
Ah, most people don't think I would be, but I'm actually not too bad at soccer, football. Yeah,
Is it your
and
favorite
that's
though?
yeah, it is actually. Um, and the funny thing is, I, the reason why it's my favorite is because when people look at me, they don't expect me to be good at soccer. And it's always funny when I when I step on the field, because of course I still wear my glasses, and of course once you step onto a football field with glasses, the assumptions go off the
Not very
charts.
sporty.
No, until I start playing, and they're like, wait a second, this guy is actually he's actually
Quick
pretty
with the
good.
foot.
He's quick with the foot, and then I score like a goal or two, and they're like, whoa, he actually just scored. So what's going on right now? So yeah,
Scoring
for
makes me
that reason.
anxious.
Really? Oh
I
wow.
remember when I played basketball and I was scoring, but like, oh no, everyone's looking at me.
Oh wow. That's an interesting perspective. So yeah, I like to surprise people by stepping out onto the field, and then you see this guy with his glasses, and then I probably have a shirt on that doesn't look like a soccer shirt. Like, oh, this guy's a joker, but then I'm not. Yeah, so I actually haven't done it in a while though, because I made somebody really upset the last time because they didn't appreciate being
One.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Wow.
anyway, Dr. Rita, it has been, I mean, I will be very honest. I did not see the time flying by. It just felt like another one of our awesome conversations.
Yes,
And that's
absolutely.
exactly how it should be.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Andre, for
Yeah,
inviting
but I'm
me.
not
It's
I'm not
it's
gonna let
great
you
that you're
go.
doing this.
No, I'm not gonna let you go before I give you the chance to promote yourself. So I need people to know how they can get in touch with you. The world is global now, and people do telemedicine, Zoom conferences. So I know my healthy reasoners will want to be able to reach out to you, maybe by Zoom, maybe they'll fly to Peru. Who knows? You have a wealth of opportunities available to people who are watching. So I'm not gonna let you get away with not telling people how they can find you. So go right ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm Dr. Rita Denegri. I have a Facebook page and I have Instagram, and it will be DRA, Doctora, abbreviation for Doctora in Spanish, DRA Rita Denegri, which is my name. And mostly I will answer my Instagram. I work on my own for now, so that will redirect you to my phone, and I ask you to be patient. At the end of the day, I will check all my WhatsApps and answer, but it will be at the end of the day because during the day I'll be in consultation, and you can reach me for yes, of course, a consult, and also for conferences. I'm very passionate about iodine, nutrition, and I have a beautiful conference about the pineal gland and how to take care of it. And also, I'm starting my supplements brand that,
Yes.
well, but you will find out about that in my Instagram because it's still in the making.
Yes. Very good. Still talk about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, and that's still in the making. So it will be
No
advertised
problem.
in my Instagram.
No
We all had
problem.
to
No
move to
problem.
Instagram. Most of my
No
followers
problem.
are in Facebook, but
That's fine.
yeah,
That's fine. Yeah, Dr. Rita, it has been a blast. And I
it
suspect
has.
that the healthy reasoners are gonna want to hear more from you on our new platform. So get ready for that. And I know you have no problem speaking in an unfiltered way. You restrained yourself today, which is good.
I have.
so so we'll make an appointment for that interview, and I'm sure it's gonna be fun. I wish
Fantastic.
you a great rest of the day and lots of patience to help. All right.
Thank you, friend. Thank you. I hope we meet
See you
again very
soon.
soon. Un
Yes,
beso
see me,
enorme.
amiga. Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Healthy Reasonings podcast. Remember to subscribe to this podcast so you can be updated as soon as new episodes are ready. If you have a question, send us a voice note on WhatsApp or a WhatsApp message. The WhatsApp number is 1-876-405-7831. For more information or to become a sponsor, please email wellnessdocjamaica@gmail.com. See you soon.